This is The Process Shot. I'm Michael, I'm stuck in a theater, and this is a review of A Concerto is a Conversation, a short film by Ben Proudfoot and Kris Bowers, released last year. It's a documentary about Kris's grandfather, Horace, and his path through life from his childhood in Florida to his journey to Los Angeles, where he grew a business and a family, along with the many trials he was made to face due to the color of his skin. We also follow Kris's own life story and how his grandfather shaped his growth into a musical composer. The movie makes great use of archival material to tell both of their stories and how they are intertwined between simple familial ties. Furthermore, Horace's story is brought into the greater context of racism and civil rights, though this is less to find a greater point and more to set the time and era of his growth. Ultimately, the story focuses more on Horace and less on Kris, though this isn't a detriment against the film, since, as a whole, the movie isn't about Kris's life, but what he's learned from his grandfather. The cinematography of the present-day interview between the two is somewhat unusual, but works in this context, bringing the viewer face-to-face with each other in their conversation about each other. This interview makes up the bulk of the film's narration and content, playing into a setup from the opening about how a musical concerto is a conversation between a solo performer and an ensemble orchestra. Kris and his grandfather's conversation is structured in a similar fashion, a back and forth between the two, though Horace is still given more time to speak, and Kris not so much. It's not much of a loss, since again the story is about Horace more than it is about Kris, but there still comes an expectation that we might be seeing as much of his story as we do of his grandfather's. What we do see still feels natural, thanks in part to the film's editing and sound design, which keeps a smooth flow even as we hop back and forth through time and across locations. Even when we jump from Horace's dry cleaning business to stories of his childhood, the transition doesn't feel sudden or unwarranted. Overall, I do feel that there's still more to the story of the two, such as any other members of the Bowers family who may have also had their own stories to tell. But the stories of Horace and Kris are tightly woven, and I think that while it would have been nice to see any other perspectives, they would just come off as unnecessary bulk. I do feel that Kris's story as a composer could have been continued to be built up without overbearing the short as well. A Concerto is a Conversation. Ben Proudfoot, Kris Bowers, 2020, 4 stars. I definitely give this one a watch. That's the end of this review. Like the video if you want, comment the video if you don't, subscribe if you want more, hit the bell if you need more, and help me find a way out of this place, please. Thank you.